And we're live. All right. Everybody just freeze. No. So, doubleheader episode. Did an episode earlier today, probably about an hour and a half ago. This one, I think people really like. I've had some people already tell me in some DMs and at work that the band I'm about to introduce is pretty kick-ass. And they remind them of a band that I hope will be a compliment when I say it. And if not, you could just leave the podcast. I won't be offended. I'll understand. But this band I thought was really badass. I reached out as soon as I heard The Dream You Made and watched the video for it. And I'm like, okay, these guys got to be on the podcast. They're right up my alley. They're heavy. They're melodic. They're aggressive. And they're all the good things that I love in a song and in a band. And to my luck, they're like, yeah, let's do it. And so I whipped up a horrible poster because I suck at it and gave it to him and then posted up, announced it. And here we are. And the band I am talking about is Kvrma.
The poster's dope.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
I like the font you chose. Very nice. I almost want to use the Kvrma that you have, the way that the font that you have, the way that it has Kvrma. I like that. I really like that. I'm actually going to look into that font at some point. It makes the V very pointy, and I like it.
Yeah, for the pink one or the first one?
The most recent post, the most recent poster.
Yeah, I can tell you what font that is.
It's great, but it's not Bleeding Cow. It's no Bleeding Cow. Come on.
Bleeding Cowboys. Inside joke. First of all, every band and their mother uses that font, or they used to. And Ignite the Fire, my old band and Mike's old band was no exception. Our first album used that. Oh my God.
My first band. That was
okay, man. It's all right.
Bleeding Cowboy.
It's always Bleeding Cowboys.
You could have done the original thing and did just what the death metal bands do, just have it be a bunch of branches and sticks to make Kvrma.
Yeah, exactly.
And nobody knows what you're called at that point unless you say it.
The elitist that'll be like, you can't understand what that looks like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, I don't know what I'm looking at when I look at that stuff. So
you have to have a high IQ to understand the complexity of death metal logos.
Or a low IQ.
I was going to say,
funny story, though. My girlfriend's daughter for Christmas got me a shirt, and it says, in death metal font, it says lactose intolerant, and then it's got, like, some milk with, like, an X through it and stuff like that. Excellent shirt, but, like, no one's ever going to know what it says. Like, if you don't look closely at it, it just looks like, I don't know, the Black Dahlia murder or something like that. It's just
amazing.
Good stuff.
I love stuff like that. That's great.
And just see how many people walk to you and be like, yeah, I love that band.
Which band do you think it is?
Right? Who is it? Name 3 songs.
Yeah, the whole stereotypical thing. I've never done that to anybody yet. I'm sure there will be a point. If it's got to be a band I really love to want to gatekeep it. But
see, I don't do it in a gatekeeping way. I'm just an asshole. It's just for fun.
Hey, I appreciate your honesty, man. Right off the bat, I appreciate it.
Namaste.
Let's talk about really quick before we get in the story of how Kvrma came to be, with a little bit of background of you four. It could be band related, like other bands. We can, if you want, your shoe size or your favorite kind of shirt. I don't care.
AJ, why don't you go first?
Yeah, AJ.
All right. Well, I guess we'll take this all the way back to when I was 12 years old, and I learned how to play guitar by teaching myself Green Day's entire discography. Fast forward, been in a lot of bands. And then this band came along because I quit my last band, and I was literally like, I don't want to be done with music. So I was like, I need to hit up Jack. Like, Jack's the guy. Like, if I'm going to keep on going, I need a good vocalist. Jack's the guy. So posted that I was quitting my last band, and literally within probably 20 minutes, Jack hits me up. So very much so like 2 trains crossing in the night. It was a wonderful thing. Great feeling. So there's my story.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Mike, you want to go next? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go next. I'm Mike. I'm the pretty one.
I
It's
don't
true.
know, man. Jackson's giving you a run for your money, man.
No, that's why I said it. It's clearly a joke. Jackson is the anime wet dream.
No.
I am. I'm just a guy. I'll be honest with you, though. You know, you know, it's that's neither here nor there. My shoe size is 10 and a half. I cannot cut things in a straight line. I can't draw a circle to save my life. I have Aragorn's sword here. I love Lord of the Rings more than I love just about anything. So,
Well, it's a
It's
good
true.
movie. Books.
yeah, no, I love it all. I love it all. I play guitar, and I kind of yell at the microphone a little bit. So
Hey,
that's who I am.
don't you
Me
do a
and
little
Jack,
rapping too?
I do a little rapping, which is
Yeah.
new. We'll see how much more of that you see of me. We'll see what the reception is. But I've
Mhm.
known Jack since we were in middle school. So this has been kind of a lifelong friendship that, we were in Ignite the Fire, our old band. We were in that band for almost a decade together. And then once we moved on from that, it was just kind of natural that we stick together because we have for this long. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah, why
Hell
not?
yeah.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Well, I'm Jack. I'm the anime wet dream. I kind of just stand there and look pretty, and occasionally I sing. Occasionally I write synthesizers. Occasionally I write lyrics, and occasionally I drink coffee. That is my lifeblood. That is what I need to keep going.
Same.
As Mike said, we were in Ignite the Fire for a little under a decade together. I think I was in it for about 12 years. We went through a couple of different, several. The band was around for 13 years. They didn't hire me until after the first year. I learned so much in that band about music, about myself, and about what kind of genres there are outside of what I liked at the time. My biggest inspiration at that time, I had three of them. I had, let's see, Dragon Force. That was my first favorite band. I was really into Slipknot back in the day, and I was really into him. So maybe you can tell where the anime pretty boy stuff comes from. What's
I
that?
could have named all three of those for you, man.
Yes, you could have, man. Yes, you could have. I was also weirdly into like British EDM, like drum and bass. I love drum and bass music so much. Mike, I talked Mike's ear off about drum and bass a long time ago, and I've always wanted to incorporate it with music. And we might have a shot at that coming up soon. But anyway, so yeah, that's kind of my backstory. I hit up AJ as soon as I realized that he was available because I had always respected him and Tyler and all the guys from their old project, Eternal Frequency, and it just kind of clicked when we first did our first practice together. It was like the easiest time we'd had writing music. We were all really good, well-seasoned musicians, and we were just like, if this is how easy this feels, we could make a career out of this. And so what you're seeing now is the attempt of that. We're hoping to take these first 2 years of the band and try to make it into a career. And if we can, great. And if not, then we have lives outside of this, so it's no skin off our back.
Yeah, you're right. You don't know how something will turn out unless you try first of all, and you ride that wave and see where it takes you. It's best to not wander, I guess. Not that I'm the best example of acting on my ambitions, because I do a lot of self-doubt stuff. But no, I think that's a good frame of mind for it. Why not? You're only alive right now. You never know what the future holds. So
yeah, it's true.
And I've seen Dragon Force live, by the way. That's an experience.
Yes, it is. I got to crowd surf. There's video footage of me crowd surfing to I think it's either Valley of the Damned or Through the Fire and Flames live in Baltimore. I'm the only one who T-poses while getting crowd surfed.
Well, hey, why not?
Yeah, why not? It's actually easier to get crowd surfed that way. So many people think you got to crowd surf by lifting your head up and looking where you're going. First of all, don't do that because you're much harder to carry. Secondly, close your fucking legs. I cannot tell you how difficult it is to carry somebody when you're under them, when their legs are wide open. And also, don't worry about your butt being touched. I don't know why it's that way, but your center of gravity is your butt. Okay, it's gonna get touched because it has to be touched. Be okay with that, or don't fucking crowd surf. Okay, I'm done.
Don't make it weird, people.
Are respectable. Some of us are respectable. You can get the small of the back and the thigh, but
Yes.
sometimes it'll slip. My
Like, we
girlfriend
will
is
try.
an accomplished crowd surfer, so everything Jack said is correct. Cross the legs, T-pose your arms, so we have more to hold on to. Don't kick. Don't kick when you're crowd surfing.
Yeah, do an impression of Jesus.
Yeah. Jesus Christ pose, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Do it at a Nine Inch Nails concert.
Yeah. I'm going to see them in a couple of months, actually, now that you bring them up. I'm excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
One of these times, he's going to retire Nine Inch Nails for good from playing live, and I'm going to miss my shot, so I got to do it.
Oh, yeah, you got to get on that as soon as possible.
Well, hey, that awesome backstory for you guys, where you come from, and then Kvrma coming about from all that, kind of just, you and Mike staying together, and then AJ coming into the picture, and then the other guys that hopefully will show up to this as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about oh no Mike.
Oh no.
Oh, there you go.
Here. I was trying to text them. I'm seeing where the boys
Oh,
were.
okay. No worries. Let's go back to what the first song was that you guys wrote, which I believe is Silence, right?
It was.
Yes. What was that one like putting together?
AJ, this is yours.
So I had written Silence actually for my previous project. I brought it to them, and they said that they didn't want to use it, and that's fine. But after I quit, I knew that song was good. I knew that every part of that song, it was well written and well constructed. So I brought it to Jack, and it kind of just snowballed from there. And it was like, yeah, that's the first single.
Well, it's a stellar song. It's really strong. I can see why you want to have it worked into something and kind of give it that life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. AJ is a phenomenal songwriter, and he usually makes like the bare bones and the muscle of most of the projects that we work on, and then I just kind of add the synthesizer flair and the lyrics and all that. And then of course Mike adds his amazing emotions. Tyler comes up with some really awesome bass licks, and then we kind of Dane, because he just got implemented, now he's starting to come up with some really cool drum flares, and he's got awesome ideas too. So like, this is going to be a great project for sure.
I like the salt and pepper. You just sprinkle it in there every now and
Yeah.
then. There's an idea here, idea there.
I want to ask you, Jackson, your vocals are they're something else, man. They're you got
Thanks.
range and you got power, man. And there's a lot of depth to your voice. I wasn't sure what I would hear because I only heard clips and stuff off of some Instagram reels before I went and actually checked out a full song and then reached out. And I'm like, this guy just makes me kind of mad because I want to be able to sing like that and I just can't, like, I guess you're either gifted with it or you really work at it. And so for you, man, like, how do you approach a song with that voice of yours? Because I feel like you could do whatever you want with it. How did you come about deciding to go the way you did with Silence?
So it's a bit of a long-winded answer because, first of all, thank you very much for all the props. I'm actually you said earlier that you struggle with some self-doubt. I do too. I wake up every day thinking that I suck, so I try my best, especially with my voice, to not suck. And I think that's where that comes from. That's where that motivation to be as powerful as I can. Because if I can convince others that I'm awesome, then maybe one day I'll believe it. But anyway, so back in the day, I used to want to have a really bass and baritone voice. And I was cast in the bass sections and the baritone sections all throughout choir. It wasn't until Ignite the Fire that I got exposed to singers like Miles Kennedy and Brent Smith and all those. And I was like, I felt exactly the way that you just described. These singers make me mad and I want to sing like them. And at the time I couldn't, but I kind of listened really hard to what they were doing. I tried to mimic as good as I can their mouth movements and their like what part of their sinuses they were using to make those sounds. And with enough practice over several years, I finally got my voice high enough and I started implementing that. And then I just started experimenting with other singers that I really liked, like Noah from Bad Omens is another big inspiration to my voice vocally now. Vessel from Sleep Token is as well. So,
oh man, yes.
So anytime I hear a voice that catches my attention, I really want to try to see if I can incorporate it into my own and then kind of put my own spin on it, because I don't want there to be any limits as far as music is concerned. Like, yeah, I want us to be a metal band, don't get me wrong, but the beauty of metal is that you can incorporate anything you want into it and it can still be a metal song. And I find that really beautiful and really powerful. And that's where my inspiration comes from as far as the vocals go. And so I practice as much as I can. And I guess you could say I was gifted with it, because everyone tells me that I have perfect pitch, which I can hear notes in my head.
He knows he has perfect pitch.
Yeah,
I finally accepted that now. I hate the name of it because it sounds like, oh, you have perfect pitch. It's probably not that perfect. I'm like, I don't know. It's pretty close. I can hear when a piano's out of tune.
Yeah, I mean that's not easy to do for, I guess ordinary people. I guess I want to say that don't really know what to listen for. All my life, I've been told by many people that I have a ridiculously good ear for music, and so they say, why haven't you ever done anything with music? And well, like we've touched on a couple of times now, lack of confidence, and also just where do you even start? Because I only write lyrics and I sing in my private time, just when I'm by myself, home with my kid or in the car, right? Like I tried singing Pendelum on the way home from work yesterday. Today's Saturday, and all my voice did was sit there and crack when I was trying to do those higher notes and stuff. I was like, so, and I know it's practice, right? Because most people could do high notes. It just takes a lot of work for different kinds of people. But you mentioned that metal, you could do whatever you want with metal. Pendulum's a really good example of that, because it starts off and it might make a person think it's going to be a pop song or something, right? And then it starts opening up, and I can see why you guys kind of called it like a bonus song, or track number 5, I think, was something that praise something.
It's a bonus track, sort of.
Yeah, bonus track. And man, what a whopper of a bonus track, because it really packs in a lot. And it really opens up, like after that middle section, and it blows up, man. Like, metal blends genres, man, and you guys did that genre blending to a T with that song.
Thank you. That actually really means a lot. I wanted to make sure that for a bonus track that we didn't just throw like a B-side as a bonus track. Like, I actually wanted to give people something to latch onto, like not so much a reason to buy the album, but a reason to buy the album with 4 songs that they'd already heard before,
Yeah, no, I get it. So it sounds like that song is really special for you guys. It's maybe the favorite off of the record or the EP for you guys. Am I right?
It's definitely AJ's favorite.
Yeah.
Every time we practice it, every time we play it live, it's big smile.
Mike, how do you like it?
I'm so proud of that song.
I like it a lot. Dream You Made's always going to be my favorite, but yeah, I like that one a lot too.
I don't blame you. There's a special place in my heart for Dream You Made. I really like that song. That's the most experimental I think we've ever gotten, and I was really proud of how that turned out.
No, I could agree more.
It's the only song I've ever gotten to put the guitar down for and just focus on singing, and that was huge for me.
There'll be more, buddy. There will be more, I promise.
I hope so. Just that song, the contrast of like all the different vocal styles all throughout it, the scream and the cleans and all that, man. I must have replayed that song dozens of times when I first heard it, and it's because those screams and the verses that bleed into the choruses, like you think that you're gonna be done with those screams, and then like he goes in and there's more that come, and then that guitar solo just keeps hitting your eardrums, and it made me want to find a cop and purposely speed in front of him so he could chase me, so I could be in a high pursuit chase.
Hell yeah.
Was my soundtrack.
That's the best reaction I've ever heard to that song. That's awesome. And thank you for complimenting the screams, because like Mike is a very seasoned screamer himself. That was the first time I had ever screamed on a studio record before.
I was going to ask you.
That was my very first time. Never done it before.
It.
Wouldn't have been able to do it without Mike teaching me how to do it. And Grant McFarlane, one of our producers, helping push me as hard as he could to the next level. So and of course, all the encouragement from the rest of the guys, but like Mike seriously helped me out with that. So I owe him, like Dream You Made would not exist without Mike's presence in this band.
Well, thank you, Mike.
Of course. No, of course. It's really easy. It's not as much teaching, just as, showing. He already knows everything. He'll just need a pointer here or there.
Well, screaming, man, that's something that when I was a lot younger, probably in my teens and into my real early 20s, I absolutely could not stand hearing like constant screams in a song. Like Linkin Park was one thing. I've always loved Linkin Park, but I'm talking to like your death metal kind of screams or your hardcore or your metalcore kind of screams. I was one of those people for the longest time that would sit there and say that doesn't take nothing to do, right? Well, there was one day, and I think Trivium was the band that finally won me over to those kinds of vocals. And well, I decided I wanted to try and do Matt Heafy's style of screaming. Well, he said it himself. He was doing it wrong for a very long time. Well, that wrong way he was doing it, I'm like, this really hurts my throat. Like, what's he doing to make it not hurt his throat? So it's not easy to do right if you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
And absolutely. It's rough going at the beginning because it's a muscle like anything else. So you're going to be sore. There's going to be times where it hurts. But if you're doing it right, it's like breathing. It's effortless. It really shouldn't hurt too much,
Yeah.
And that's just about where we're getting with Jack.
Yeah. Well, he's doing a great job with those screens, man. I'm really wanting to hear more of him more songs with him doing it.
Oh, you will.
I just got to get it down. You'll get it.
Absolutely. Dream You Made was also the very first song where I sang, like without screaming, just singing. I've never done that in the studio before. So that was a song of firsts for us. So there will be a lot more of switching of the roles for me and Jack too, which is going to be fun to experiment with.
Yeah, I'm finally going to pull my keyboards on stage at some point. That's the dream.
Good. I love keyboards. I think they work great in heavy music.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get this comment before I forget that it's there. I think you've seen it, but Robin says you are awesome. Believe it. And I believe that was directed at Jack when he was talking about self-doubt.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you. I don't know if you intended it, but thank you for wording it the same way that Naruto would word things. Believe it. I appreciate that.
Okay. You caught me dead. Yeah, I'm definitely an anime fan. I did watch Naruto a lot when I was a kid. Naruto. Speaking a little bit more about Dream You Made, I showed that to a friend of mine in the band Skies of Terra. His name's Justin Townsend. And I said, hey, when you go live today, if you're going live, he's like, yeah, I'm going live. I'm like, I need you to play these two songs by this new band that I found that I'm trying to get on my podcast. He's like, oh, you'll get them on your podcast. I'm like, I hope so. And the songs that I was wanting to play on his live was Forgivable and Dream You Made. He played Forgivable first, and I think he said something to the effect that, man, that's an emotional song, but it's heavy, and it's got a lot of different kind of styles and parts that they really blended, really well together. And then when he played Dream You Made, and that song got done playing, he's like, well, I don't know if I was expecting that after what I heard with Forgivable. He's like, that's and
that's awesome.
He's the one that I was going to mention, a band that he made a comparison to for you guys. And I really hope that this is going to be a compliment, because you either love this band or you hate this band. but he compared vocally and kind of stylistically to Emotionless in White a bit.
Yes.
I'll
Yes.
take it.
Yes.
I'll take it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, the structure of Dream You Made was definitely inspired by In This. Oh, wait. You said
Emotionless in White.
yes.
Emotionless
Yes,
in
it was.
White.
Emotionless
I-
in this moment.
I don't know why my brain shut off for a second there, but yes,
that's
Motionless in
pretty
White
improvement.
was definitely an inspiration for a lot of this. And you know what's funny? I also get compared a lot to Chris Motionless visually. Like when I've got full makeup on, I get compared to him a lot. Dude, I love Motionless in White. Oh my gosh.
Well,
I don't know as many songs by them as I should, but like whenever Voices comes up, I'm always rocking out to that. I have to stop everything I'm doing and just rock out to that.
Yeah,
Sorry for my
They've been
overreaction
killing
there.
it.
No
Their
worries.
last,
Go ahead.
I think their last 3 albums have just been money. They've just been killing it for years
Mhm.
now.
I've
Not that they
heard
weren't always great, but
Mhm.
they matured so well, and just
Definitely.
them and Ice Nine Kills are from the same era, and they both just morphed with this rock scene that we have now, this octane driven, rock scene, and they've been just killing it. So that's a
No, I
great
agree.
comparison. Thank you.
Motionless in White probably won me over with their last 4 albums they've done because I've always listened to them. I just wasn't like a completely invested listener until probably about 7-8 years ago. I
Yep,
think
same.
something like that. Anyway,
It was the album that had
Always
soft
been
on
my
it.
favorite album by them. Creatures just won me over, front to back, first song to last song. Great album.
yeah. No, Chris Motionless has a really raw and powerful voice. Like I love when he sings and really just goes at it. It's always awesome. So my kid took my phone, by the way. That's where I had my cues for my questions. So I'm gonna kind of recall as best I can how I had it structured and listed off. So yeah, I just want to go into a little bit more of just a deep dive into that EP. Now it's called, is it Equal?
It's just called Equal, yeah.
It's called Equal. Okay, good. Just making sure. So we covered Silence. Let's go ahead and cover the other 4 songs if you don't mind. We could do it in brief or we could do it in long form reply, whichever you guys feel. And let's go ahead and talk about more of Dream You Made because that's definitely my top 2.
Someone other than me this time.
So, all right. Dream You Made, I got inspired to write the guitar work to Dream You Made because I had actually seen Polaris the night before. Love Polaris. I think their guitar players are phenomenal. So I literally I was looking at tabs for them and I was just like fiddling around on guitar while looking at tabs for them and I stumbled across that intro riff and I was like, that's the one. I'm going to track this right now so I don't forget it.
And what about you, Mike?
Well, it's AJ's baby as far as musically goes. But then Jack brought like a vocal structure for my portion of the vocals of that song because he starts it off with this very corn sounding just dialect. It's just it's his own thing. And then they kind of just let me free. They let me scream and do what I want to do and just be kind of crazy with it. And I took what Jack gave me and I ran with it. But the cool part about the really cool part was, again, like we touched on, like seeing him take off with the screaming as well, and like on stage with that song, being able to like scream at each other, and like it's very cathartic because it's just nice to have the wings unclipped, to feel free to do our thing, and it was real nice to just let loose and kind of scream and give you guys a really disgusting bleh in that one. And thanks to Jack, it's not even where you expect it to be because most blehs are like right there at the beginning or no, this one just catches you off guard. And that was kind of a last second decision too. So just a fun song. Absolutely my favorite song I've ever really been a part of making.
Oh, you brought a heck of a lot of energy to that, your parts in that song, man. Like I love when those screams start. Like I said, I want to just drive so fast when that song is on, just in general, and just be reckless. But I got a wife and a kid and a job, so I'm like, okay, come on, you got to make it home.
As long as you keep it in fantasy, you're fine.
Yeah, I'll play it out in my head.
Just take some back roads real fast. Just pretend.
Yeah.
Well, I got a lot of those where I'm at, man. We're farm country out here, so there's a lot of straight, long, stretches. So I could.
Awesome. That sounds like a driving dream, man.
Yeah. And what about you, Jackson? Dream you made. What's it mean?
Dream you made. Yeah. So when AJ first sent over the riff, I knew it was money. Like the minute I heard it, I was like, okay, this is going to be a phenomenal track. AJ does really good with structure, and he does really good with guitar. I knew that it did need a little bit of synth work. And so I was like, you know what? I'm not just going to try like this. I think this was the first song that we did where I didn't just like add instruments to what he already had. I actually messed with the structure a little bit, and I changed up placements where his guitar parts were with his consent. I never like to change stuff without people's permission.
Right.
And he seemed to really like the changes, so it's all good. I wanted to be like, I was like, you know what? This sounds like it could have some synth bass in it, which is something that not a whole lot of metal tracks do, and will definitely make us stand out. I figured this could be our opener. If we do the thing and we do it right and we don't mess it up, this could be a great opener. And so I structured the intro like it could be an opener to an album, and it eventually became the opener to our live show. So that was the first bit. What really got me interested in making it the way it sounds now was how much AJ loved Korn. Like AJ loves Korn so much. And I was like, you know what? I've been sleeping on Korn for a while. I bet they have some really cool stuff that I could take inspiration from. And so I started listening to more of their stuff, and I was like, okay, he's probably going to really like if I emulate some of
that's it.
Yeah, so if I emulate some of their singer whose name I forget because I suck with names.
Jonathan Davis.
Jonathan Davis, thank you. Yeah, so I wanted to emulate that Korn style intro. The synthesizer at the beginning, the lighthearted synth, the high-pitched synthesizer in the intro, that was directly inspired by the guitar tone from Freak on a Leash. And I also wanted to flex synthesizer-wise. I don't know if you saw the TikTok or the Instagram reel, but the little that bit, that synthesizer part is something that I made from scratch out of Patrick's scream. Patrick from SpongeBob. Yeah, I took his trademark scream, and I spliced it, looped it, and turned it into a synthesizer with distortion and reverb and a bunch of shit. And it just turned out so great. I've always wanted to nerd out synth-wise in a metal song, just as like a little Easter egg.
Well, bring on that nerd, man, because it works.
Evidently.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's like our most popular TikTok as of now. And I hope to do more stuff like that for future songs.
Well, I think it'd be money if you did, because I sure like it. And I didn't know that that's how you did it either. So that makes it even cooler.
Yeah. If you check out our TikTok or our Instagram, you can find the reel really easily.
Yeah, I'll definitely look for it because I don't think I've seen it, to tell you the truth. But that song is definitely like in my top two. Like it almost makes me mad when I listen to an EP or an album and I can't single out and say definitively which ones are absolutely the favorites. And that's because the 5 songs on the EP are all so strong on their own. And the Dream You Made, though, is basically the first song I heard, and as I said, and so that's why it's kind of a special spot in my heart, with that song. And then the next song I want to talk about and really could just kind of deep dive into, and I talked to Jackson about this, and I think he said he's going to tell you guys what I had said with Forgivable, and feeling like I could relate to the song title itself and then just that theme of feeling worthy of forgiveness and being redeemable or whatever, and just showing people actually the kind of, I am a good person. I deserve love. I deserve, to be, have it be acknowledged that I have worth, as a person and as an individual. And what I was telling Jackson is when I was a kid, a lot of parental abuse is from my dad. My brothers, my mom went through a lot of stuff with that, and so whenever I hear a track like that kind of touches on whatever you're coming back from, it's going to be different for other people why they connect to it. But it was hard for me to want to express love, from what I experienced, from my dad. And it made me afraid of relationships, feeling like, okay, am I going to be like him in a relationship, or am I going to be different? And so ultimately it's like, you know what? I'm robbing myself of knowing and finding that happiness and seeing that I'm worthy of all those things by not trying and not letting myself be vulnerable. And so, I found my wife, and I found myself, falling in love and feeling love and being loved. And so that song hit me pretty hard, is basically what I'm saying. And I think it's a gold mine for people that are searching for something to attach to and know that they're not alone. So let's deep dive into that track, if you don't mind. And we can start with Michael this time, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So it's a cool song. It is an emotional song. I definitely relate with the song. And it's a song where I did something I've never done before and something I've always kind of thought I could do. And with Jack's help, we put together a fairly cool and not that corny rap part, which I think fits. It's not even just something to do. It fits the song. The story of the song is kind of fleshed out throughout the rap part.
Right.
And
not a bad kid. I'm just introverted.
Absolutely, and it really runs through this person who can be you or someone or whatever, it runs through their whole life right up to that moment where they decide, no, I'm not done. I'm not going to end it right now. I'm going to keep going because I am in the end forgivable. I'm forgiven. It doesn't even matter.
Right.
I am forgivable. It's fine. So
yeah,
that's my input. Yep. Thank you. Jack?
Sure. So fun fact about Forgivable. I've been writing that song for approximately 2 years before its release. I've been writing it in my old project, Ignite the Fire. And I remember at the time of writing that song, I was in I'm just going to say it, I was in a very abusive relationship. And I remember that no matter what I was doing, there was nothing that I could do to appease them. There was nothing I could really do to make them happy. And so eventually I just got it in my head that, okay, I must be a bad person. There's no question about it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I must be a bad person because the person that I love most in the world hates me right now. And so that's where those words come from. Whatever I've done, I'm sorry. And I hope that one day you can forgive me. And then I realized once I got out of that's how, I might tear up here. That's kind of how a victim of narcissistic abuse will often feel because they're so used to being made feel like the bad guy that they just get it in their head that, okay, I must be bad. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I must be, for whatever reason, because that's what good people do. The first person a good person blames is themselves. The first person a good person blames is themselves. And so I realized that, even though I'm out of it now, that would be a really good song to put out, because it resonates with me. And obviously it resonated with you as well. It's a song that can definitely resonate with anyone who's gone through something like that. It's not necessarily a song that the person who hurt you will ever sing to you. I hope it is, but it's a song that you can at least sing to yourself to realize that you're definitely not alone. Like, you're not alone. Other people have gone through this, and more importantly, you're not to blame.
Yeah,
and that's the most important thing, is you're not to blame. So not only are you forgivable, you're more than forgivable by wanting to be forgiven for something that you have no reason to apologize for.
Oh, that's pretty deep. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, just
AJ,
take
you
it. Go, yeah, you're more welcome, AJ.
Oh, lyrically, honestly, I have nothing to do with lyrics. That's like pretty much Jack and Mike. That's their thing. I remember him bringing the instrumental idea for Forgivable, and then all of it kind of like just transforming into what it is. And from the moment that I heard the idea, I was like, we got to use it. We got to do this.
Not only that, buddy, talk about the sound effect that we couldn't have added if it weren't for you.
Oh God, which one?
Load some gold in my gun.
Oh. Gold in
my gun. Yeah, that line.
because to the public, it might be a little bit of a touchy subject. But
yeah, well,
okay. I have guns, so that part that's in the second verse where you hear the gun cocking, we sampled that from one of my guns.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And I thought it would be a lot more. I thought it would be a lot more intimate to use something that we had instead of like a cinematic sound effect. I really wanted this to sound like a raw, like, oh shit, somebody's going to really do it, because that happens, and I don't like to shy away from real. I've never been one to shy away from real life. And when AJ brought that to the table, I was like, dude, we got to use that. So sorry to interrupt.
Full disclaimer. I'm fully licensed and they're all legal.
Yes.
No, I love going out and using them myself, target practice or whatever, it's No, dude, I just had that.
That's so hard. I thought you said you like taking them to Target so you can rob the store. I'm sorry. Oh my God. I just heard that so hard. It's like the thing cut out right before you said practice. So I thought you were like taking it out to Target. Sorry. Okay. Oh my God. Whew, I'm lightheaded.
No, that's all good, man. It's good to laugh. No, dude, it's a heavy track, emotionally, and definitely attached to that one pretty heavily, from my own experience. And I like the way that I think it's the last time the chorus is saying, you say that, and if I am not forgivable, then I'll become that person that's unforgivable. That's how the line is, right? It's probably not the exact wording, but and I think
do I deserve it if I am forgivable?
Yeah.
Like, or sorry, if I'm unforgivable, like, because I already think I'm in the context of the song, I already think I'm unforgivable, and then can I become forgivable? Like that's how the song ends. It's like, I want to be forgivable, I feel unforgivable, can I become forgivable? That's the thing. And it's this never-ending paradox of emotion, which I think us hurt folk know all too well.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's still coming from uh-oh. Everyone's just cut out. Is everyone still here?
Yeah, we're here.
You are. You're like half there. But...
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, you're back.
At the end of the day, it is still coming from that place of am I unforgivable? Like all of this like positive stuff is great, but it comes from the mind of someone who is still wondering, am I forgivable? Because we still don't know. But we are. We know we are.
Yeah. Most people are forgivable. I mean, there's acts that you commit that questionably can't be forgivable, but it's everybody walks around with demons. Huh?
No,
I have crooked pinkies, so you don't want to make a pinky promise with me. Like it's a family thing. Like my mom's side of the family have crooked pinkies,
They're
So
perfect. They're
yeah,
perfect fingies. You're doing just
Isn't
fine.
isn't this like the Chinese middle finger or something? Is this going to get
it's
censored? No.
something like
That
that.
is
Yeah,
crazy to
yeah.
say. No, it's not. That is something we used to think when we were in elementary school, I think.
Yeah.
Give me a minute or two. My kid needs my attention real quick. I hate to go off screen for a second, but I'll be right
That's
back.
fine.
Yeah, you can talk shit or whatever you want. It's all
I'm
good.
gonna take a 5-minute hiatus for bladder purposes. So
Dude, me too. BRB.
love you guys. See you soon.
Okay.
Bye bye. It's very nice. Very good. Very nice. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
So the stream is mine for a few moments.
Oh
How do
God.
I entertain all of you people?
Oh God.
I
No.
could do some impressions. You guys, I don't know how many listeners there are out there, but yeah, I've heard. I tried doing Peter Griffin a long time ago, and people seem to really like that impression. I just never really know what to say as a Peter Griffin voice, because really you can just kind of say anything you want. It makes it funny, but he's one of the absolute worst father figures of all time, not just in animated cartoon history, but in all sitcom history, all human history. Seriously, Peter Griffin can go jump off of a duck. There you go. Thank you. I'll be here all night.
Was that you, dude, Peter Griffin?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh man, people are gonna love watching through this and get to that part. You know, I've watched the hell out of that show for the longest time. It's not as funny as it used to be, but those first 5-6 seasons or so, man, there's so much stuff in that show that just make me crack up laughing at the drop of a hat.
Yeah. The first few seasons, I will admit, were really, really funny. There were some moments that really got me. The thermostat joke still gets me to this day.
Yeah, it's
the episode where Meg comes out there where they're hiding from the burglars.
Yeah.
Meg comes out and she's like, "What was that? What's going on?
Oh my gosh.
Somebody here?" And then Peter whacks her and he's like, "Meg, you startled me." And I'm just,
Yeah, that one's messed up.
that's funny.
She's always getting so much crap.
I know, it's funny. It's American Dad. American Dad is where Seth MacFarlane's talents are now. That show is hilarious.
My favorite joke from American Dad is and always will be, "How's the French toast, darling? Smelly and undelicious, but this American toast is great." It hits you so fast. It hits you so fast. I love it.
I walked away.
Yeah, those jokes are just so random are the best jokes.
Yeah.
I
suppose
all right,
so.
Yeah. Well, I like those. I like slapstick comedy. I like that. It's right up my alley. So we were talking about Forgivable, and I think we just wrapped that up. And so I think that leaves Eye of the Angel, which has one of my favorite choruses on the entire EP. Like that chorus is just, it soars
Money.
high.
Love it. That's my favorite of Jack's. That's my favorite. Yes, I love. That is my favorite.
I understand why. Yeah.
Yeah. That chorus is nuts.
That vocal line in that chorus is just chef's kiss.
I might need Jack's help with remembering the writing process for that one, because that was so Silence we wrote first. Eye of the Angel, that was definitely the second song we did write and record and release. Trying to remember, how did I start? I think honestly, okay, I think the way that started actually, I was in my first apartment and had my little studio space because with my fiance, that was our deal. We were moving in together. I had my own room for my own studio stuff. So I think I was just kind of messing around with some different plugins, and I hit a key with one of my plugins, and it had that like radiance to it, and I was like, "That's going to be the start of a song."
I love the way your mind works.
Yep.
What about you, Michael?
I didn't have a whole lot of input on this song. I love this song. The Latin the Latin verse or the Latin verse that the song has in it is a super cool spot. And I'll let Jack translate it because it was his idea. But it's like it's super cool. The whole vibe of the song is like Lovecraftian. It's like cosmic horror. But the cool thing about it is like the beginning of the song, it kind of reminds me of like rain falling on like a puddle or something like that. It's just
Yeah.
like this very ethereal sound, and then it just kind of morphs into like this cosmic sounding. It's a cool song. It's very cool, and uh, it's a small screaming spot part in that song, but it feels powerful, and it's actually extremely layered. You can't really hear it. The final scream that I do, the unholy lies. It's like it's got just about every single type of scream I know how to do layered into that one scream. It's like 4 or 5 different layers. So that's that. Fun song to play live too. It that when that chorus busts in, it just you feel it. It's fun.
So
Yeah.
before Jack goes, I just got to say when he brought the idea of the Latin screaming, I kind of had this thought in my head. I was like, okay. And then he was like we were just in my studio, and I was like, oh shit, he's on something there. That sounds great.
Those moments are great, man. Like I like those unconventional kind of moments that get captured for songs. That's what I love about the process of creating music and hearing how things come together from the bands I talk to, because I never know how the answer is going to be kind of given and what'll come with that answer. So that's really cool.
So much like that.
Yeah.
We'll get into more of that after Jack goes.
Yeah. Fire away.
So, this is y'all's favorite chorus, is it?
I would say so.
Credit where credit's due. I actually didn't write that chorus. I didn't come up with the melody for that. The melody that I had was very different from the final melody, and I have to give credit where credit's due. Grant McFarland is actually the one who helped me out with the vocal line of that chorus. So the reason why it sounds as good as it does is because I got help from somebody who has had nothing but experience in the genre that we're doing. For credit where credit's due, he helped that song out a lot. He helped out that chorus.
He didn't sing it.
I can still take credit for the Lovecraftian stuff though, because I
Well, he
love
also
H.P.
did-
Lovecraft. He's one of my favorite authors. I love cosmic horror, and he's kind of like what made it popular and what kind of started the whole thing. Have always loved At the Mountains of Madness, which is one of my favorite Lovecraft stories. And I wanted to come up with this idea of, so I was raised Catholic, which is already like a bundle of like issues there. I still vibe with a lot of the good things of the religion, but there's some aspects of it that I really don't agree with, particularly the one where it's unquestioned servitude towards something that you very rarely are ever going to physically see. And there's this one question that I've had my whole life is, what am I praying to? What exactly am I talking to this whole time? Wouldn't it be a creepy concept if the thing that you are praising is actually a demon? Now, I'm not saying that that's my thoughts of Catholicism. That's not my thoughts of Christianity. I'm just playing with the idea. Like, the only difference between an all-powerful angel and an all-powerful demon is whether or not it's on your side.
Yeah.
And that's scary to me.
It is scary.
And so that's what that whole song is about. If you're wondering what the Latin translates to, that Latin phrase was actually taken from a Mozart song, Requiem, Mozart's Requiem. And that phrase, quantus tremores futurus, means, oh, what a trembling there will be, in reference to the end of the world. And that's where that all came from. So I just wanted to bring it. This was the first time I ever actually felt free enough to write about stuff that I nerd out about, like stuff that interests me. And so when AJ brought this unique sounding song that still had a really heavy hard rock, heavy metal chorus, I was like, dude, this is an opportunity. Light bulb, let's do it. And I remember getting a lot of weird looks from AJ, but he still let me cook. he was
But
still letting me cook, and I'm glad he did. And I love that he was like, no, give it time, just wait. We things that are really good can often sound like trash in the beginning, but we'll make it work, and we did, and it's awesome. And if I can do a quick shameless self promotion, I hand animated that music video or that lyric video myself. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out, because that was a lot of work.
It is
That
wicked.
was so much work.
Just want to give some more validation to Jack. Yes, maybe Grant helped you with that, but yes, it's your singing is what makes it
Yeah,
such a cool chorus.
yeah.
Like, it's your voice.
I
Yes, he
know.
helped you with, dude. Yeah, so just a little bit more validation because I love you.
Thank you, buddy. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. It helped me believe I'm awesome.
Well, you are awesome. And my friend Justin Townsend actually made a mention of your voice when he heard Forgivables when he first said it. He said that your voice almost has an operatic. I always say that wrong. An opera kind of quality to it.
Operatic is correct. You got it right.
Okay,
but thank you.
I'm just making
that
sure. And I'm like, huh. And so I'm listening to. I went and listened to Forgivable after he said that. After I got off his live stream with him, and I kind of understand why he says it. And I think it's because just how I don't know, maybe angelic your voice could be with those high notes and stuff, and just the way you sing when you go into like a deeper area or or something. I'm not really good at describing things like that, but
I know what you're trying to say. I get it. It means a lot. It really does. Thank you.
It's the vibrato in his voice.
Yes.
It's the way it resonates. I mean, he really has a world-class voice. He can do a lot with it.
You guys.
Yeah.
I really do appreciate it every time I hear it. Thank you.
I'd love to hear her knock out some Sleep Token.
That'll happen one day. I've been working on the piano part for Euclid. Maybe when we feel brave enough, we could maybe cover that, or The Night Does Not Belong to God. I have a friend of mine who says that we need to cover that just so that they can film it and have a version, because their opinion, not mine. They said that they like my voice a lot more than Sleep Tokens. I really look up to Vessel. I really look up to his vocal quality, and he does things with his voice that I wish I could do. But I do understand that it's very niche. So I understand that not everybody's going to like it the same way. So maybe one day we can do that. I don't know.
If I may throw this in there, since we're talking about Sleep Token and possible covers and all that, my favorite track off of that new recent album from them is "Are You Really Okay?" I would love to hear you do that one specifically. Like, I think the vocal delivery in that song is so powerful, and just the way he's doing it throughout, it honestly sounds like it'd probably be a little bit tiring to do it. And Euclid too, that track is no different, so yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I actually haven't heard "Are You Really Okay?"
Really?
Yeah, I haven't listened to that one. I've listened to "The Summoning." That's my favorite Sleep Token song so far. That one has the most amount of genre of variation, and I respect that so much.
Go ahead, Michael.
Somebody has some serious genre, but yeah, it's got like some Pink Floyd vibes. It's got some disgusting screams. No, Chokehold is one that Jack would do. I like singing Chokehold. That's a fun one. You have to sing in cursive.
That's a perfect way to describe Sleep Token, is they sing in cursive.
Exactly. Like, man, you know what? So if Deftones is horny music for metalheads or whatever, what does that make Sleep Token then? Because they could be kind of.
That's
like
that's to describe Sleep Token in one sentence. I need metal to enjoy my drugs.
Okay.
Because there was, I say that because one of my favorite comments about Pink Floyd, which is my favorite band currently, is I need Pink Floyd to enjoy my drugs, which is a riff of what people used to say about them, which is I need drugs to enjoy Pink Floyd. No. You need Pink Floyd to enjoy your drugs. And that's like, I need Sleep Token to enjoy my drugs. That's how it is. Yeah. It's so good, man. Sleep Token's so good.
I know the ladies like him. They like that Vessel. He's He's up there swangling his dangle everywhere. So I mean, we all see it. You've seen him
Hmm.
live. You've seen him fucking do it.
Man,
And
I
it's
would
crazy that a dude in a mask is just it's so hot. Like
I
To
would
hide his
love
Taylor did it the
STDs from all
first
that
time
pussy he
though.
eats. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Oh my god.
I would love to see Sleep Token live, but their tickets go sold out in a matter of like it feels like seconds. And when you do find them, they're resale and they're like $1,200.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I'm
Yeah.
never going to get that chance.
Oh yeah, the industry's fucked.
It
I'm
is,
sorry.
man.
I didn't mean that. Yes, I did.
Something needs to be done about those jacked up ticket prices, man. I tell you. But so we kind of already talked about and went into Pendulum a bit, didn't we? Or is there more you guys would like to say about that track before we moved on?
I mean, I guess what I could say about Pendulum is yes, absolutely my favorite song. Like a big ass stupid smile on my face every time I play it. The way that song started was Jack had written a sample, and we were just scrolling through his flash drive, I think, and he hit that sample, and I was just like, we need to use that. Like,
Yeah.
incredible.
I wish I had a picture of your face when you first heard it. I
Yeah,
wish I did. Your face at that moment was just so. Oh my gosh! It was like you look like you just found a gold nugget in Oklahoma.
dude, I found the needle in a haystack there.
Yeah.
Like there it is. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just eventually progressed into what Pendulum was. That song took us the longest to write, probably.
That
Yeah.
sound, Jack, that sound's been around forever. I remember you used to mess around with that sound even back in Ignite the Fire days. And what I love about it is it's got this industrial, like goth sound to it. So,
Yep.
one cool thing about this song is there's maybe two spots in the whole EP where I like had an instrumental idea that we used, and this is one of them. Um, I just industrial metal is very driving. It's just like
Yep.
you know what I mean? So
Yep.
Yeah.
we were
Mike
messing around
actually
with it
came
was
up with that first
bass.
guitar riff.
Exactly. But it was actually on bass that I think I actually initially we were messing with bass, and I was just like, what
Yeah.
if we just leaned into the industrial part of it and was like but instead of doing it forever, like industrial music does, we just it hits at a certain moment and it carries the song,
Yeah.
just for that part. And
Hmm.
I don't know. I didn't really like industrial music all that much until recently. My girlfriend is a huge industrial goth fan, so something I've never done before, a vibe I've never really even tried to go for before, and it turned out pretty
You
freaking
knocked it out of the
cool.
park, man.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean
Yeah,
it was just fun. No, we knocked it out of the park. It was just fun to be a part of it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
It's all the
Such a
same
cool
thing.
song.
We did a great job. You did a great job.
That's
We did a great
that
job. That's
that might be the most fun to play live. It might
yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Like
It's
when that
fun.
chorus finally hits, it's a
I
good
think
time.
like we've only
And I think
tried
it's
so
what
far.
the only song on the EP where no, the second song on the EP where the chorus is done differently. Like it's not done the same all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It changes up all throughout. And just so you guys know,
Builds.
yeah, songs that build like that and change up like that are my bread and butter with the song. Okay. I love it when a band does not do typical song structures with their music. They're completely okay when they do. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I really love when a song builds to something big.
Yeah.
So just a little bit of heads up for you guys for future releases. It will make me very happy if there's at least one song on releases that do that. That does
You will
do
be
that.
very happy with our next album then.
Yeah.
You will be
Good.
very happy probably with the first single that we put out.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
it's
I will say
78% build.
I will
It
say,
really is.
It really is. I like the. So, okay, speaking cryptically, the new one that may or may not be in the works is going to be coming out whenever it comes out. It's it's frustrating me because like I love it so much and it takes so long to get where it's going, but it's one of those
Mhm.
songs where it's like when it gets there, you're just like, man, I'm gonna replay these last 15 seconds. Just gonna start this part over again. I'm gonna
Mhm.
pull up
Yeah.
the function blasting this part with my windows down. That's
Yeah.
the vibe.
What were you gonna say,
We all
AJ?
do that.
Oh no, just like with Pendulum, I think like one of the big driving forces behind that song that really inspired us was the Death of Peace of Mind by Bad Omens. Like specifically by the structuring of that song and how every single layer of that song, it's just progressive. It gets heavier and heavier throughout the song.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons why it took so long to write, because I wanted to make sure that we weren't just putting out they clearly took this as inspiration from Death of Peace of Mind. I wanted to vary it up so where if you hide what you're inspired by, or if you mask what you're inspired by, you won't be accused of ripping off someone, which you can definitely hear the influence. But at the same time, it's not so easily, like, it's not lost on them, but it's also, sorry.
It's its own entity, that's all.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, sorry.
No, yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. Like, that song, honestly, a couple of times when it came out, I was pulling into work, and I purposely restarted it once I badged in at the gate, so the gate arm at my job could open and it could let me into the parking lot. I purposely restarted that song and then turned my volume up almost all the way up, specifically so people could kind of hear, oh, what's that song? Why does it keep coming up to like these parts and then kind of going down? Then, oh, here's some drums and a riff coming in now, and then, oh, what's this? All of a sudden, it just blows up to something big. And I did that because I love that song so much, and I want other people to ask me who it is, because I'm like, this band needs to be heard, because whether they like it or not, they're going to be some sort of big in whatever kind of way at some point. Like, they write songs that will get them there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, wholeheartedly, man. Like, I love finding bands that really get me that excited, that really have something there that is just beyond tangible. It's just, you can feel like you could hold it in your hands, that like you see and feel how special this is, because if you don't, you should.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I have a few more things I was going to bring up before I let you guys go, one of which being those awards that we could vote for you guys in.
Yes.
Best hard rock and best new band, right?
Yes.
Best new artist / band. Yes.
And that's for Pennsylvania Hall of Fame, right?
The Central Pennsylvania Music.
Central Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, Central Pennsylvania Music Awards, otherwise known as the CPMAs. Yeah, it's a huge honor to be nominated twice. Yeah. So this is cool. Like, 2 nominations for 2 different categories. And, I know a lot of bands will say, I'm in it to win it. I'm not in it to win it. The fact that we're nominated is good enough. It would be awesome if we win it. I'm not going to lie. I kind of do want it, but that's not the main focus. The main focus is that we're making music. This is a nice little cherry on top. So if we don't win, we're not going to be mad, but please vote for us anyway.
Yeah, I have. Jack couldn't have said it better, because, like, honestly, we haven't even been we've been a band for more than a year, but we only announced ourselves in April, and so in less than a year we got nominated for 2 awards, and that's what
I'm talking about, guys. You have something.
If we don't win, I'm gonna jump off a building.
No, dude,
you're forgivable. Don't do it.
I'm just kidding.
I love you, buddy. I love you.
Who's gonna do the rap parts in the songs, and who's gonna do the other oddball things besides AJ?
I'm too white to do the rap parts. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
The tracks.
Yeah. Oh God.
No, congratulations on that, guys. I think it'll be well deserved if you win it. I hope you win both categories. And I don't know if you guys know how you're doing in the standing. You probably don't.
No.
But
no.
Yeah. What, about another month until they announce? Right?
So we'll find out on March 5th. I know majority of us, I think, have tickets, and we're all going to the award ceremony.
Nice.
I may or may not be there.
Yep.
Well, I hope the best for you guys with that. I truly do. And the next thing I want to bring up is you have Jack went away again. Oh, there he is.
Sorry, what? Sorry, I'm here.
The next thing I want to bring up is you guys have a show coming up in February. Is that the 15th?
Yes,
February 15th.
Right. And that's it. Baltimore Bar, right?
Yeah,
Angels Rock Bar.
Angels Rock Bar. Okay. Right. That's going to be a killer show.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping for. There's a lot of bands on the list.
Yeah. I'm jealous because I'm not going to be there.
I love this venue. Angels Rock Bar is awesome. It's one of our favorite venues to play.
We'll print out a cardboard cutout of you so you can be in attendance.
Oh, heck yeah. I love that. And then the other one is Rock on the Mountains, right? July 25th.
Yeah.
Is that the only day you're there, or are you there the 26th and 27th?
Just the 25th with Blackstone Cherry and 10 Years.
Yeah.
I
saw
Austin of Saving Abel, Shallow Side, old friends of mine. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day.
I saw 10 years. Huh? Silver Tongue?
Playing too.
Yeah, Silver Tongue's going to be there too.
Oh yeah, Silver Tongue.
That's awesome.
I'm looking forward to that. I really am looking forward to that.
Old friends of ours.
Yeah, this is going to be a big reunion show.
Yeah,
big reunion festival.
I believe I interviewed their singer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Now that you're saying, like, I know Silver Tongue. Yeah, obviously.
Everyone knows Silver Tongue. They're great guys.
Yeah.
I saw 10 Years only once so far in my whole life, and that was about around the time their first album was coming out, and I knew who they were, but the that riff in I don't think it's their song Half-Life. Maybe it's like that. I probably butchered that. I'm not really good at making effects with my mouth. But no, I was there with a friend and his not quite at the time girlfriend, but would be later his girlfriend. And when that first riff, when they struck that on the stage, we were on our way to get something to eat. And well, when me and my buddy heard that riff, we stopped where we were standing. We both turned around and bolted back to the stage.
Yes.
Because of that riff.
10 years is awesome. I saw them last week in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
For Shiprocked. Absolutely. They're awesome. And Ignite the Fire, we played with them, I think 3 or 4 times back in the day. So that's going to be great. They are so good live. They've been doing it for so long. That's going to be awesome. And then Blackstone Cherry, I love me some Southern rock, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I listen to those guys here and there. Yeah.
What's crazy too is that our first show was supposed to be with 10 Years back in like June, and just things didn't line up, and we were just not able to play the show. So then when we got announced, us playing Rock Mountains have been in the works for quite a few months, but we had no idea who was also on the bill. So then when it came up as 10 Years, I was like, oh,
surprise. No, that's going to be a great show. I wish I could attend that as well, which leads me into my next to last question. I might have 3 more questions, something like that, is as far as shows go right now, are those the ones that you guys have, or could there be maybe a somewhat of a tour that you guys might be trying to plan and line up?
There's a tour that we're trying to afford. We're trying to afford
the touring is definitely within the next year or two's goals. Touring is extremely expensive.
It is.
Definitely need to build a little bit of capital first. But touring is really all about connections, and we've all luckily been doing this for long enough that we all have connections here and there. I'm fairly confident that within the next couple of years, if they're able to handle, dealing with me. We're going to be in there, and I stick around. I think we're going to see a tour within the next couple of years.
I sure hope so, man. Because come to Oregon, mainly the Portland, Eugene area, if possible.
Absolutely. Right around the corner.
I can make either one of those. I could even do Washington, Ridgefield or Seattle area. I will try and make it to whatever show is closest for that. And I don't know if Jackson could hear me or not, but the question I have next, I think he's doing something. Besides that, in the new music being worked on, what else might there be in store that you guys could talk about?
Probably just honestly, we have more shows booked than just February 15th in Baltimore and Rocky Mountains. They're just not announced yet.
Okay.
So, yep, we're not able to talk about them just yet.
All right. Well,
yes, you were right. I was doing something. I've been holding my bladder for a very long time, and I didn't want to be rude.
And you know, you can get up at any point and just do that. I know what that is.
yeah. There you go. So anyway, I'm back now, though. I'm
music. Good. We are definitely writing new music, though. New music is on its way.
Mm-hmm.
We've got almost half our next EP. Pretty much.
Hey, those
structures of the songs are there.
My birthday's coming up on the 12th of this month. I'm just saying.
Nice.
I'm just saying.
We will definitely give you a birthday shout out if we have nothing to offer. We will. I forget what days we're going to the studio. I think the 8th and the 9th.
8th and 9th.
Or the 9th. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be ready just then, but we're going to try.
That's all right.
I don't know. They have some pretty fast turnaround times. I don't know.
And then
we'll see.
Last question I have for you, I stole from my buddy JT from Beyond the Breakdown podcast because I love the reactions I get and some of the responses I don't even expect. But for Kvrma, food or beverage or both, which of the two would you use to describe your band for a food or a beverage? Odd question, I know.
Lasagna, because we got layers.
Hey, and it's hearty.
Onions. Ogres are like onions. Have layers.
Yeah. Layers is a theme, it sounds like.
A cheeseburger made by Gordon Ramsay. Because, look, it's a burger. You know what you're going to expect. But there's so much effort put into every single layer out there. Yeah. You know you're biting into something good and something juicy and something meaty and something that's probably going to give you heart problems if you eat too much of it.
But it's so hard to resist stuff like that, though,
Yeah. Yep.
No, great answers. I like the lasagna one specifically because that makes a lot of sense.
That one was perfect. I was trying to get my comment to be on level with that, but
it was almost there.
AJ's the drink meister, though. What drink would you compare Kvrma to?
Oh, jeez.
Are you going to say a spider bite?
No, because I don't like liquor. I'm a beer guy.
Mm-hmm.
We're Long Island iced teas, baby. We're tasty.
You know what?
We're
that
delicious,
actually
and we're
works
a good
because
time.
there's so many different things to create.
Yeah, and we are delicious, and we will fuck you up if you let us stick around long enough.
It's true.
Mike hit the nail on the head.
Mm-hmm.
Well, final. Let's go ahead and have you guys drop where everybody could find your band's socials and music.
Jack?
Oh, God. Kvrma band, Kvrma_official. That's our YouTube. Kvrma band or Kvrma.band. I think you can find us on Instagram and Facebook, of course. Those are our only two socials right now. We are looking into getting an X account, maybe a Blue Sky account at some point. Probably not Threads, just because.
We have
Spotify. You can find us by looking up Kvrma. Any of our song titles, you'll find us. We're on Amazon Music. We are on Apple Music. We are pretty much everywhere that you can stream music. We're there, whether legally or not. We're there. Like somebody probably pirated our stuff and put it on SoundCloud or something. We're everywhere. As long as you're listening, we don't care where you're listening from. Keep listening.
Just remember, it's KVRMA. It's KVRMA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and shout out to the band that was the inspiration for the V in the band. I'm supporting them right now. That's Lilac. Awesome musicians.
Yes.
Got to open them for them at some point. They were wonderful. You haven't heard of them? Check them out.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. Class band right there. Guys, this has been a whole lot of fun, a lot of laughs. I love it when they go that way. And just also want to just say I highly recommend their EP Equal. It's great batch of songs, especially if you really want to go fast, go on a drive middle of the night, go put on Dream You Made and just find a dark road and turn on your high beams and just 110, maybe faster than that. Yeah. Highly recommend their EP. Please like and follow them on their socials and just give them all the love you can. They deserve it. They're going to be big. I feel in my bones. Great group of
Feel it in my
musicians.
nuggets.
Say hi to the others that didn't make it to it. Give them my love and my support, appreciation. And I will look forward to the next time I chat with you guys. It's been a lot of fun.
Yep.
See you around. Thanks again.
Sir.
You guys take care.
You
Love
too.
you.